Editing videos might sound intimidating, but not with Clipchamp. In this beginner's guide, I'll take you through step by step everything you need to get started for free. Hi, I'm Jamie and welcome to Teacher's Tech. Today's video is about how to edit videos. This is for beginners, so if you were thinking about starting and didn't know where to start, this video is for you. The program I'm going to be using is called Clipchamp, and I'm using the free version of this. So this is going to cost you nothing. Now, the great thing is the skills you learn from this video, you can apply it to other video editors as well. But no more talking, let's dive in and get started on how to use Clipchamp. First of all, where do you access Clipchamp? You can do this in a few different ways. I'm going to put the link to this site down below in the description, and you can go and access it if you're using Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. You can go to it and just create an account with Microsoft for free. Once you log in with your account, you're going to get a view that looks like this. Another place you can access it, if you're using Windows 11, you can access it right on your computer. It should be pre-installed. If I go and do a search, if you start typing Clipchamp, you'll see it open up, or when I click on it, it will open up and it looks the same. So this is going to be the one installed on the computer. You can see how it looks the same between both of these. I want to point out, if you don't have it on your computer, at this point, if you're on Windows, you can install the desktop app. That's the one that I just opened. If you want to check out the differences between the free and the premium plan, you can just click on upgrade and you can kind of see what works best for you. As I said, today I am showing the free version, and I'll point out some of the premium things as I go along. I'm going to be working from the Microsoft Clipchamp app that's installed on my Windows 11 computer. If you're on Mac or Linux, then you're going to be wanting to work from a browser. The experience is going to be the same, and this tutorial will work for either. For this beginner's video on Clipchamp, I'm going to be focused on creating a new video from scratch. You can see there's a few different options, which I'll focus on those in a different video. I have a video on this if you want to use Clipchamp as a screen recorder. This is a fantastic option. If I just move down, you can see there's templates that you can get started with, and this is where my videos are going to get saved. Since I'm using the free version, everything's going to be saved locally on this computer. With the premium, it will allow you to save it in the cloud. Then you could go from computer to computer and open up your projects. The other thing I just want to show you under settings here, if I go to general, I'm going to be under dark mode, but you can change from light to dark here. So we'll go back and I'm going to go and get started with a new video, and you'll see the screen here is all ready to import media and start editing. But before we do that, I want to just give a name up here. So if I just type, and this is just going to be a demo, so I'm going to click demo, and that's going to be the name of the project. For navigation purposes, if I go back and just click back to home and scroll down, you can see this is what I just started. There's nothing in it yet, but I can click on this now and it will get me back to it with the name. So that's how you can navigate around. So the first thing you might want to do is decide, well, what is this video for? So is it going to be for Instagram, YouTube, TikTok? And your aspect ratio will matter. So over here, you can change your aspect ratio. If I want to do wide, and that's what I'm going to do in this tutorial, but you could do vertical. This is for Instagram Reels or TikTok. You can get the square one. So you can make those choices here depending on what you want. Now, over on the left here, I'm going to give you just a quick walkthrough. We have our record and create, and this is where I have a different video on how to screen capture and yourself all in one and make those edits. We have the content library. So with the free version, you get a lot of availability to a lot of these. If it has this little diamond on it right here, that means it's a premium. If it doesn't, it means you could use it. So you can use all these things from shape to audio. You'll have a lot of different ones. There's even free videos you can use in here, backgrounds and music. So there's lots of things you can use for free. You'll see the templates over here that you can get started with. I won't be using those in this tutorial. There's the text. Everything is going to be drag and drop over, and we'll be working with these in this tutorial. We have transitions. I'll be showing you this today, and this is going to be the brand kit for going. This is a premium feature. So let's go back up to your media, and I need to import media in. So what I can do is, you'll see I can connect to browse files from OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, Xbox. But what I'm going to do is import from my computer. So on my desktop, I have a media folder right here, and I have some MP4s, I have some audio in here, MP3s, and I have some pictures. I can select one at a time, or I can select multiple ones in as well. If I hit open, you can see all these things just got brought into my media bin, and now I can start getting ready to bring them to over here, and this is where we're going to do editing. I just want to point out, I can drag folders right into here from my desktop or a different file, and it will drop it right in. If you've never edited videos before, the whole idea is to take video clips like these, or pictures like these, or audio into here. And then you're going to line them up in the order that you want, and you make trims and adjustments to them. Now, let's go ahead and grab a video. So we'll take this one that's 16 seconds long. I can see the time, and I can just drag it over. So now I've started. I can do a couple different things. I can hit play to watch it. Here, this is my preview window. Another thing I like to do is I actually use the space bar. So if I click the space bar and stop the space bar, that's a much quicker way than trying to get back up to here. But you'll notice that that's the shortcut right there when it's saying space. This is the playhead. So with the playhead, I can drag it ahead or backwards as well. So notice it's buffering a little bit right now, but as I drag it, you can move this around to get to certain spaces. Now, I want to point out with this down at the bottom. So what I do when I'm editing, a lot of times I'm zooming in, zooming out. So if I zoom out, you can see that it just went smaller. If I zoom in, I can keep zooming in. And what that does, as I zoom in more and more and more, it allows me to take the playhead and I can go frame by frame. So it allows me to get to an exact spot that I might want to split that clip at. So I can zoom up and then I'll zoom back out when I want to see the bigger picture of what's happening. Now you can take another video and drag it right after that. So as I drag it, you'll see if I go and just bring this up a little bit, I can hit my space bar and it goes from one video to the next video. So if this is all I wanted to do, I could put a bunch of videos together and then I can export it at this point. And I'm going to talk more about exporting, but if you just wanted to order, you could go and export at this time and you would have your finished video, but that will come a little bit later where I dive into it. So we have these different clips. If you ever want to change the order, you can just simply drag them and move them around. So you can see how I just put that, I nudged this up. I could bring something else in like this picture. Now with a picture, I can make it play as long as I want. With a video, notice if I try to drag that, I can't do that because a video is just going to be how long it is, but pictures are static, so I can drag them longer to take up more space. If you want to delete any of these clips, you can just make sure it's selected. You can see how I have this one selected where it's outlined in purple. If I click on this one, now it's outlined. With any of these, if I just hit delete, then it's gone. And I hit delete on my keyboard. There's the undo up here, or you could use the shortcut Control Z. If you go back, it will place it there. Now, another thing you can do to delete, if I right click, you get a bunch of different options where you could even duplicate the clip, you could copy, you could paste it, and you have delete also here. So you could go through and delete different clips that you put in. All right, let's talk about how we can do some editing of the clip. How can we make it shorter or cut something out? So let's go back to this first one again, and I'm going to drag it in. Now, there's three different ways we can edit a clip. We can go ahead and trim it from either end or make a split. If I hover over the beginning, and if you're learning on a different video editor, this will be a similar thing. If I hover over, notice how my mouse changes, the cursor there changes to the double-headed arrow. Now I can just click and hold on my mouse and I'm trimming. So I've trimmed all that off. And I can do the same thing at the other end. So if I hover over, get the double-headed arrow, and now I can trim this way. So I've made it much shorter, because when you're maybe you're recording something at the beginning, you want to take something off it or at the end. But you can also trim back. So just because you trim it off doesn't mean you can't pull it back. The original clip, it's still connected in here, which allows you to edit it back. The other place you might want to edit something is maybe in the middle. So if I have the clip selected, I can use the split or hit the S key and I'll get a split. So you can see how this becomes two pieces. I can move my playhead ahead here and I can make another split. And now I have this chunk. Notice how I can place them on different layers. I'll talk about that in a moment to give you a kind of brief understanding. So I could cut that out and move this together and then hit delete. So you'll notice now as the playhead goes over this, there might be a little bit of a jump between the two different ones. So if you have something you need to cut out of the middle, you can split and cut out that way, or you could change the order. If I wanted something in the middle here, I could use the split. I could move this over here. I could move this over here. You can change the order to anything you would like. I want to talk briefly about layers, and I kind of already showed it when I dragged that one clip over top. I'm going to take this clip and just drag it over top of this one. And I want to show you what happens. If I bring back my playhead here and hit space or play, notice that all I can see is the top one. So it's covering everything down below. So if I go and add this to a top layer, you can see I can keep adding more and more. But now if I hit play, all I can see is this top one. The audio, actually, there's audio in this one I can still hear, but with video, it's only going to be the top one. So what can you do with that? Why is that important? Well, you can make changes to the video in a few different ways. And when you're using green screen or something like that, it's an important thing to be able to understand the layers when you're working with it. But let's say I have this clicked on. You can see I have it purpled outline. I want to show you how you can make some changes so you can see both. If I go here, I can resize the clip. I can transform the clip, so I can move it around. Now, when I hit play, I have two different videos playing at once. So it's like picture in a picture that I can have and put it where I'd want. And even if I add another one, I can do the same thing with this one. So I could have multiple videos playing at the same time. Now you can actually add other effects to it as well. If I wanted one to be more see-through, if I have this one selected, I could go over to adjust colors and there's a transparency mode over here. So if I drag this, notice now this one becomes see-through. So whatever I clip, I can add these different colors or transparency to. To close these down again, you can just click on it, it will open up. One more thing you can do to any of the clips is crop them. So if I go to here and maybe I just wanted to focus on the dog, hopefully the dog stays in frame here, I can go and crop an area. So now it's not the whole video resize, it's just one area. If I hit play, you can see how the edges are cropped out, how the dog is a little bit out of the scene. Another thing you can do is delete everything at once. I'm just going to drag the selection tool so I have them all highlighted. As soon as I do that, I can hit delete and everything goes away. Now, another place you can get more videos, and I mentioned this before, if we go to the content library, and let's say I type in dog, since I kind of have a dog theme, notice so I hover over, here's an image, we had a sound here. But this is a premium one. We have videos, premium. I'm going to click on see all. This one looks like a free one here. So I'm going to take this and drag this in. So if you're looking for more videos to work with, take a look at some of the options with the free ones. If you have the premium, then you're going to get even more. I've moved back over to my media folder, and I just want to point out that clip that I brought in from stock is now part of my media folder. I'm going to go ahead and delete this clip, and I want to work with some audio, but I'm going to show you a few different things you can do with audio, and I'm going to start with this clip here because this is the clip that I showed you before. If I listen to it, you can hear the audio to this, and I want to play some music here, and I don't really want to have that audio. If you want to remove the audio from a clip, you can kind of do this in a couple different ways. If I right click on this and go to audio, I could mute it, or I could detach it as well. So if I click detach, notice what it does right here. So we downloaded, it just automatically downloaded onto my computer this audio here. But this audio is now detached. So if I bring this over, and I'll just size this so we can see a little bit better. If I bring it over here now, I can hear it. If I bring this over here, you can see here that there's no more audio to it. So that's how you could remove the audio. Now, I'm going to put a few clips here because I want to bring in some music. So let's say I have this right here. Oh, not the same one. We'll bring in this one right next to it. And I'm going to make them a little bit shorter, and I'll bring in this one more. So again, Clipchamp makes it super easy to bring any in. I can bring a picture in as well. When I bring the picture in, notice we have black sides. I can make this larger and move it into place so it doesn't have those black bars or hit the fit that would go back or expand. So you can make those go away very, very quickly. So now let's go to our media. I'm going to take this motivational song. I can see it's really long here. Actually, I'm going to take this one at 2 minutes, 1 minute and 59 seconds. So if I go now and I hit play, I've added some music to this. I want to point out, you can see that the music is really long. I can edit it just like videos. So if I bring it to the end, and let's say I wanted to have it a little bit over right here, I can go and hit my clip, my scissors or my S key, and it will make a clip. You can see how now it's cut away. I can hit delete and that will be removed. I can also trim the exact same way as a video. I do want to point out, if you take another audio and you bring it underneath, you're going to hear both of them at the same time. So it's not like video, how there'll be one you only see. If you do it with audio, you'll hear all of it at the same time. The other thing I just want to point out with any audio, if we move over to here and click on audio, we have a volume. So if we wanted it to be not so loud, maybe there were some voices, I could bring the volume down, and now this would be easier to work with some other voices. There's also a fade in and a fade out. So if I bring this to, let's say 1.6 seconds, and I bring this to the end, you can kind of hear how it faded out at the end. So some things to play with audio. Let's discuss transitions now. Transitions happen between video to video, video to picture, and picture to picture. Right now I don't have any transitions. If I hit play, it just jumps from one clip to the next. Transitions over on the side, I can just drag them over, and I'm going to show you two different ways you can do this. We'll take this crossfade and I'm going to drag it. Notice the pluses appear. So if I drag it, now this one has a transition. If I bring it back, I'll hit play, and you have that nice smooth transition. If I click on this and I go over here, we have transition. So, and anything I click on, we get the properties over here. If I wanted it to be a different one, and let's pick this one right here, hard swipe, wipe left. So now if I pick that one, I can go back, hit play, and we have that new transition. Another way, if I just hover between any of the images to videos, I get this. I can just click on it, and now it's added a transition here. So as it goes through, but if I want to change this one, I can just go through, check out the different ones. If I wanted this circular wipe, now I can see the different one that's applied. I can even change the duration of this. So you can go through between all your different images and videos, add transitions to make everything run smoother. Text is another thing you might want to add to your videos, and Clipchamp makes it super easy again. Notice that they have all these different text styles, and they also do have a plain text. Let's do one with a plain text, and I'm just going to drag it down. Notice how it's gone above layer, and I can see here nothing's typed in it yet. I can go up top, and I'm just going to say hello. Now, at any time, if I click off it, click on it, I can move it around and everything's transparent wherever I put it. Now I can make changes to this. Since I have the outside box selected, I can make a change to the font. You can see how it changed. I can change to my size of the font, and we have more options here. Now, another thing that you can do is if you go over to text here, I can make adjustments at this point. So again, just like I showed you before, if we wanted it larger, we can look at different color options that we have. Now, if we use one of the text styles, I'm just going to take this first one, I'll bring it over, and I'll move my playhead over. And remember, we can do layers with this too. So even if I can have multiple text in this on the same time, I can line them up wherever I would like. So now with this one, if I go, you can see there's already a text style. If I just double click in there and it's selected, I can type what I want. So whatever I want in here. Now a few other cool options that you can do. Now I showed you with the text option over here, we can even do a fade. So a fade, I'll do a fade in with a couple, half a second here. I'll bring the playhead back and look how it fades in. We can add effects. So if I wanted this to, let's say, pulse. And now if I bring it back, I'll hit play. Now it's pulsing. All this is for free. And look at the different adjustments that you can have. So you go through, place the text on the above layers, or even at the beginning if you didn't want to have a background, and you apply it to where you would like. The last thing I just want to quickly cover are some of the more options with the video. So if I click on this clip right here, I can move over. I can go fade in on this one. So if it was the beginning of a video, maybe I want to have a short fade. So now, as it starts, it has this fade in. With any of the clips that you click on, you can make some adjustments with the filters and effects. So if I click on filters, you're going to see the ones that are premium or the free ones. So if I look through different ones, if I click on Old Western, you can see how this is applied to that clip. Now, if we go to effects, and I'll go to this clip, and I click on effects, you can see all the different ones. So if I wanted this one to do a slow zoom, we can make that adjustment here where it's zooming up very slowly. So you can play with all these different ones. We can even change the position. With any of these clips, we can also change a color. So if I can adjust the colors, I already showed you transparency earlier, but we can change from saturation to contrast. We can make all these changes. And we can also change speed duration. So if I wanted this video right here to be much quicker, I can click on speed and I can increase this by, let's say, double. Notice it just made it shorter. So if I hit play now on it, we have that being much faster. So these quick options that you can use in Clipchamp, and it's just a matter of playing around with it. Let's say we're all done our video. And in this case, I have a 17-second video. I have some audio, I have transitions and videos and pictures and some text. I'm going to go to export. If I drop down here with the arrow down, you can see I get different options. I'm going to go with 1080p, which is a good high quality. 4K is premium, but I'm going to click on 480p. And just like that, it's already going to be done and being downloaded because it's a very quick clip. The name was picked up here. I can edit here. I can also save to my computer again. So if I click on this, I could pick a spot where I want it to save. I'll go ahead and open this clip. So I'll just hit open file. It's going to go and pop up on my media player. And I'll just play it here. We can see the text, the transitions, there's music in it, has all the things that I put in it. So this really gives you an understanding on how easy it is to use Clipchamp to edit and create videos. If I go and open up my Explorer, you can see this is the MP4 that was created that I just showed you. This is what you would share. So this is the finished edit that you have. You can take this file and upload it to YouTube. If you want to keep editing, you can do that. I can go back and click on this and I can make more edits. And if I want to change something, then I just need to export it again. I hope this video has been helpful for you, giving you confidence to start creating and editing videos and sharing them with others. I'm going to have more videos come out about tips with Clipchamp and other video editors as well, so make sure you stay tuned. Thanks for watching this time on Teachers Tech. I'll see you next week with more tech tips and tutorials.